I'm an old man. Disabled. And I don't move fast anymore. Most days, I keep my world small on purpose. Same streets, same bench outside the shop, same careful pace that keeps my pride intact. That night I broke my own rule. My chair battery was already acting up, and I told myself I'd be fine. Just a quick trip to the corner store, then home. I'd done it 100 times. But halfway back, right when the streetlights started flickering on, the chair gave a hard stutter and died. Just like that. No warning. No slow fade. 1 second I was rolling, the next I was stuck in the middle of the sidewalk with cars rushing past in cold wind pushing at my jacket. I tried the controls. Nothing. I checked the battery connection like I knew what I was doing. Still nothing. My phone was at 5% and dying faster than my patience. I called my nephew, but it went straight to voicemail. I texted my neighbor, but the message wouldn't send. And that's when I heard them. Engines. Not one. A few. Deep and heavy. The kind of sound that makes your chest vibrate. I looked up the road and saw headlights coming in a line, then the bikes rolling into the parking lot across from me like they owned the asphalt. Leather vests. Patches. Big boots. The whole scene. The kind of men people cross the street to avoid. I'll be honest. I didn't want to ask them for anything. But the sidewalk was empty, my chair was dead, and the night was getting colder. I had to get home. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I rolled myself over as far as I could and raised my hand. One of them noticed. He was tall, broad, older than the rest. Gray beard. Calm eyes. He nodded once, like hold on, and the bikes quieted down around him. He walked over slow, not rushing, not acting like I was a problem. "What's going on, sir?" he asked. That sir caught me off guard. I expected something rough. A joke. A comment. Instead, he sounded normal. I swallowed my pride. My chair died. Battery or something. I'm stuck. He looked at the chair, then at the road, then back at me. You got somewhere close? About 6 blocks, I said. He nodded again. Turned and motioned to 2 of the others. They came over. One of them crouched beside the chair like he'd fixed 100 of them. He checked the connection, tightened something, tapped the battery pack with his knuckle. No juice, he muttered. The big one looked at me. We can push you. Or we can load you. I didn't like either option. I especially didn't like the idea of strangers lifting my chair like luggage. But I also didn't like freezing out there all night. So I said, push is fine. They didn't laugh. Didn't complain. 2 of them took positions behind me, careful, steady, like they understood dignity. And they started pushing me down the sidewalk. That should have been the end of it. Help given. Problem solved. But as we moved, I kept noticing little things that made my stomach twist. How people stared at me like I was the one they should be afraid of. How cars slowed down to look. How one of the bikers kept glancing behind us like he was checking for someone. And then we passed a store window and I saw the reflection. Me in my chair, surrounded by leather and patches. For a second, I didn't look like a man getting help. I looked like a man who'd been claimed. The big one leaned down slightly and said, "You all right?" I forced a smile. Yeah. Just, not used to being escorted. He chuckled once. Ain't escort. Just helping. But my mind didn't stop racing. Because I've lived long enough to know how stories get made. Someone sees you with the wrong people and suddenly you're part of something you never signed up for. And in my neighborhood, perception can be just as dangerous as reality. We finally reached my building. They pushed me right to the front steps. Gentle. Respectful. The big one stepped back and said, "You got a plug inside?" "Yeah," I said. He nodded. Good. Charge up. Don't get caught out again with a dead battery. Then he did something that made my chest tighten. He reached into his vest pocket and pulled out a small card. No threats. No drama. Just a card. He held it out and said, "If it happens again, call. We're around." I stared at that card like it was a live wire. Because in one hand, it was kindness. In the other, it was a connection. And I didn't know what that connection cost. I took the card anyway, because refusing felt disrespectful. He gave me a small nod. Then he turned, walked back to his crew, and the engine started up again. They rolled away like they were never there. I sat in the quiet with the card in my hand, listening to the last of the rumble fade into the distance. And the truth hit me hard. They didn't hurt me. They didn't threaten me. They helped me. So why was I scared? Maybe because when you've been vulnerable in public, your brain looks for danger even after you're safe. Or maybe because I knew one simple thing. In this world, nothing feels free when it comes from people with a reputation. I went inside, plugged in my chair, and locked my door. Then I put that card in a drawer I don't open often. Just in case.